Hey guys, welcome back to the FPS General live stream here for the ShootMania Curse Invitational. We're here for the second semi-final between SK Gaming and Spin Move. We just saw Curse advance to the upper bracket grand final against Do Not Jump. They'll of course go down to the loser bracket. So the winner of this match will face Curse. But before we jump into that, I've decided I think Small Kiwis taught us all how to play ShootMania enough this tournament. So instead of that, we're going to play ShootMania Beta 2. Okay, quiet guys. Hey guys, welcome back to FPS General. That was ShootMania Beta 2. It's available now to play. Just go ahead and install ShootMania Elite, not the EXP version that we're playing this tournament. You better get your hands on it. Final release, of course, later on in the new year, January 23rd. But without further ado, we have Spin Move versus SK Gaming, which is said to be an epic game. Spin Move, some of the perhaps underplayed teams in the tournament, but on any given day, they seem to really put their A game out, as we mentioned time and time again. I don't think I need to give any introduction to the SK Gaming side. They've got, of course got champion or world champion in his own right, Rafa, along with Cluck and ID or ID. But you can, of course, win a SteelSeries Sensei Gaming mouse as well by predicting the winner of this game. Go ahead and bring it up. You can see, again, congratulations to Esper for taking the first prediction, which was Curse to win 2-0. And this time, all you got to do is predict who will take this match between SK Gaming and Spin Move. Get those answers into Twitter. And if you are watching the VOD on YouTube, the competition is already over, I'm afraid, but you will be in for many chances in the future to win more stuff here on the FPS General live stream, I'm sure. But get those tweets in, and our very lovely Johnny will, of course, again pick a second winner after the game. But I'm, of course, joined by Dignitas Succubus. At the bottom there is Johnny in his hoodie and white Siberias. How you doing, Dave?
I'm good. I'm awesome. I can't wait to see Spin Move versus SK. I think this is going to be an awesome game. Favorites are SK, but I think Spin Move can actually get an upset here, to be honest, if they're lucky enough.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things we saw as well, I think it was they were playing against MME on day 2, which would have been on Wednesday with Winters and Idred, was that actually MME gave them a really, really close game. But the question is, do you think it was them not adapting to the new game?
It could be that, and it could be also that the maps they played were just not into their favour either. So obviously the first map is pre-picked, and Castle, pretty much everybody has played this enough to know it incredibly well. So I think SK might have an advantage here, but we'll have to wait and see really, because it is kind of very, very niche really. Sometimes teams can handle it, sometimes others can't, like the Do Not Jump guys, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're of course down in the lower bracket now, but yeah, I think this could potentially go either way. I think Spin Move. I think it's more of a case of consistency with them, perhaps. I don't mean that in the general sense of you got to try and play good all the time, consistency. But I think with Spin Move, they sometimes have amazing rounds. But their general round, I don't know whether their general gameplay, their general skill level can keep up with SK. So for me, it's got to be about can Spin Move pull out that amazing round that they might need to take the map, and that's really what I'm going to be looking for.
Yeah, it's as you said, it's definitely relying on the individual, but this is a team game as well. And when we watched Spin Move play last, they had some crazy tactics. They had some very open tactics, but they worked because basically their teamwork was superb. The call was made, the pushes were made perfectly, and they trapped and got the shots they needed. Uh, as watching from above, I felt if I was attacking spin move, I would have gotten some better angles or maybe a better position to attack on. But because the calls and teamwork is so much there, then maybe I wouldn't. I would have
Hmm.
probably got raped more than likely.
Yeah, but first map, of course, in this best of three semi-final is going to be Castle by default. The loser will take the second map, and then, of course, third map, if we need it, will be then determined by the team that takes first map. But the defensive side is going to be SK here. And first up is Spin Move on attack with Nutrigrain alongside Vince and Poor Billy.
Indeed. SK moving in for the early spam, but standard positions coming up. Rafa on top of the hill. Clock playing pillar and ID on broken wall. And Nutrigrain going for a shot on ID. Nothing happens, and now he's decided to favour on this left-hand side.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to try and pick off the player by the pillar, but and there's a good rotation coming out from Clark. I don't know whether I've just adjusted my volume. Yeah, it was actually my side. Sorry for interrupting you there, Zacubus, but he will manage to pick up Nutrigrain. And now just two players remaining. Only got one life here against those 8 rockets on the defensive side. They've got 2 of them. And whether Nutrigrain is going to be able to dive on the point, I don't think so. He needs to find a frag, and whether it's id or Clock, one of them has to go down. Otherwise, those 8 rockets are going to come face first into his nose, or maybe feet as they're trying to bounce him away. We got 5 seconds again on this point. One frag comes out. He might have been able to get lucky there, but Clock ready and waiting to hit that rocket.
Indeed, and if not, I'm fairly sure Clock would have got the bounce as well. And let's see, ID up now on attack for SK. This guy's aim, man, it's crazy good. As we saw in our previous games when we watched them play. And I think we're going to see the same thing here. Let's see if Spin Move's defense is played the same. No, it's a little bit different. Broken wall and 2 on top. Vince on the back, right at the back of the map. Nutrigrain playing more on the point. Poor Billy on the broken wall. Narrowly getting missed there by ID, but seems to be pushing on this left-hand side now, ID. And he's gotten behind them. Can he get the pick? He can. This is looking good, and Nutrigrain now trying to put some pressure on here. Can he actually get enough pressure? No, he can't. Now Poor Billy really in a bad position. And ID on 2 lives on the point. Can't get the bounce, and nice stuff from ID. Really, really nice aggression. Like, where were they even looking? Where was the call? I mean, Poor Billy knew where ID was. He saw him jump over the wall, didn't he?
Yeah, you'd assume he would have called it, but potentially not. The interesting thing for me was that ID really didn't go for the shot on the player by that right-hand side wall, Poor Billy first. By not having a player by the pillar there, Spin Move, it really does allow the attacker ID to sort of move forward and get a good angle on it. But, you know, if ID is just going to move around the left side of the map and it's not going to be called, the rotate's not going to come in, or just the defensive position is not utilised, and he's going to find that frag, then, you know, why the hell not? As we watch Poor Billy move up this right-hand side. Still not yet able to find a shot. Definitely wants to try and find Rafa, eliminating that rocket to keep himself with these 3 life points. Rafa narrowly missing, and time is very quickly running out. And this is the situation that SK Gaming want. It doesn't matter that they haven't, you know, eliminated any of those lives. The sheer fact they've got 3 players remaining on this point opening up should allow them to defend. But the dive comes in, 1 life eliminated, 3 players there to shut him down with a total of 12 rockets. You know, just need to find a frag earlier on, I think. 3-0.
Indeed, and he was not given the opportunity really to get a good shot on when he went on to that top right side. There's nothing wrong with going on that top right side, but it doesn't look like he was even attempting just to get up there. He just wanted the positioning and hoping for an opening that would be a standard mistake. But of course, SK not going to give that to them for free. And now Clock on the attack, looking at Poor Billy on the broken wall, just slightly missing, but I think he's going to go for the same shot again. Spamming it, nothing hits there. Clock now going on this, pushed up to the top. This time they know where he is. Vince, unlucky on those rockets, does get one actually, as he's falling off the end of the spawn wall. Now Clock going to just dive up onto this ramp. Poor Billy's in position, gets picked. Not a greatest position to be in. It's always a standard shot there. Now Clock, 1 life. Vince and Nutrigrain left. Can they defend this point? And oh, very nice stuff, but Nutrigrain does pick it off. With that nice little rocket towards the end.
I mean, that's going to make it 3-1, and Spin Move will get on the score, but it really just feels like Spin Move just giving them far too much respect. You just saw the amount of space there that, both SK attackers have had. They've been able to walk up that left-hand side, then walk up behind the spawn. Clock was very lucky not to go down in 3 from that defender hiding, but, Clock knew better, was able to dodge away. Still went in the favour of Spin Move, but I just feel like them just giving the SK players too much room, but we'll see if SK are going to give Vince the same light of day, as it will be Clock to eliminate one of those first lives, just hiding and waiting for him on the left hand side, and again just putting the pressure, constant pressure on Vince, and this is just what we don't see when we see an SK attacking side. And whether Vince will be able to hold on here and make this into toward his favour, we'll see, but so far now going to turn his attention toward the player by pillar. But now look at this, point opening up again, 3 SK players alive, and unlike the last time, we now have just 2 lives on this attacking player, Vince. He has to hope for a miracle as he will dive toward the point. He's on there, gets tied 25%, but again just 3 SK players ready and waiting, 4-1.
Indeed, and as you just said, basically, as soon as he went into that left side of that wall, it was Vince, wasn't it? Yeah, Vince. As soon as Vince went on that left side of the wall, SK rotated, clutched it, put pressure on, so he had to rotate again to try and get a better angle. And then they rotated into even stronger positions and gave space for I think it was Clock to get back up on top, which is really, really nice. And that's how Spin Move should be actually playing this as well when they push on the left hand side, the attackers.
Yeah, and you can see this. Sorry, you can see the setup that we've got from Spin Move as well. Rafa knows that there's no way in hell during a reload time these players are going to be able to dive on him, so he has so much time here, Rafa, just to sit back and find the shots from what is effectively close range against one of those players. But those other 2 not able to get anywhere. Still, just 1 life here for Rafa, and they will make it work. Neutral Gain able to find that 4-2.
Indeed, lucky for the early spam, taking 2 lives away from Rafa. So nicely. But if he had more lives there, I think Rafa could have been a real threat. Especially when you get that early pick, when then you know where the other 2 are, just straight up on the point. It's just an aim game, just waiting for them to show themselves to get the pick. And Nutrigrain now trying to pick off Clock in the mid pillar. He knows he's there. He's trying to find the right time to do it, and he finds a perfect time to do it. Nutrigrain getting that really, really nice opening frag, and now he has more space. Now that mid pillar's down, he has got a choice between who he wants to kill, ID or Rafa, and it looks like he wants ID first, so he's just going to go for him, which is the right move in my opinion. He should really just take him out of the way, and he's got so much time to attack the point with 3 lives, and he does that. Very nicely done by Nutrigrain. Now this is looking very, very good for Nutrigrain. Can he cap this point? Will he walk into the rockets? He just neutralizes Rafa straight ahead, dives into him. Good stuff from Nutrigrain.
Yeah, Rafa probably shot the rocket at the floor thinking, yeah, I'm just going to bounce him away, just bounce him straight into his nose. He'll find that shot with the laser, 4-3. But on ID now as he makes his way in toward the castle walls. This time going to... no, we won't take the bounce back, just going to take a long-winded route. And straight up the middle. He knows this is exactly where a player is waiting behind their spawn at the back of that ramp, just maybe trying to find a shot into Vince at the same time, trying to open up poor Billy, but he will instead hit the rocket and will switch right on toward Nutrigrain and shut him down. And now there should be one onto poor Billy. That is a big miss, and that's going to allow Vince and poor Billy to put out that spam. That's another life gone for ID, and now things are looking extremely tough, and this should be in favour of Spin Move, but still look, oh my god, the rockets, they're just saving poor Billy, and again, he just got to be like, oh wow, finally finds the shot.
Oh my god! That is just unbelievable. And ID is going for the point, and does the mistake jump. Vince been able to shoot that very nice rocket at the end, but that MVC was so fucking funny.
That was insane.
Sorry, my swearing, but
I think it's well deserved. I've not seen. I think 3 have been the most I've seen, but 4 at that close range as well. That is something we saw Cower do almost to the point earlier on today when we were playing. But I think that's just next level. But poor Billy up now, 4-4, all tied up. This is a great situation. You can see there, Nutrigrain and ID or ID there to get both attacking rounds for either team. And now, can poor Billy find the shot? He doesn't want to get to that situation we saw him on his first attacking round, where he's got 3 players to deal with when the point opens up. And that is a brilliant shot onto it. Just waiting and waiting. Good, patient, calm, controlled play. Two players now to deal with. 8 rockets. Oh, wow. Rafa's going to connect with 2. This will surely now go in favour of SK. I cannot see poor Billy clutching this one. He could hope for the best dive on the point, but 7 seconds left. That's going to be 6 after the reload. There comes the final one from Rafa. 5-4. Good start, but, well...
You know, I would have actually rotated on that left side, then really sort of try and get into their minds a little bit and throw them off. I mean, that spam is just standard right there on that ramp, and so many wasted lives. He could have done so much more there, poor Billy, and with that opening frag as well, and the rotation straight away for Clock to go on top, he had so much more space. Should have used it better, but anyways, let's see how Clock is going to do on his attacking round. And he's pushing up on this left side again. He liking this left side. And very nicely done for Clock. Waits for the rocket jump. Nutrigrain going down. Only Vince up top as well now at the moment, and narrowly dodges that rail. Picks up the last shot, and poor Billy. Very nice. Pushing into the back of Clock there. Getting it very nice defense rockets in.
Yeah, that was a well-timed push. He had to wait until the challenge was made on toward, I believe it was Vince, was it, at the back of the map, because if he went too early, Clock could have found the shot as he moved up the ramp. So good stuff coming out from the spin move, guys. And 5-5 all tied up here. This is looking to go all the way to the wire as we watch Vince attack up on this right-hand side. As he will find Rafa. That is a brilliant shot, 80.3 meters. And that's just opened up a lot of this map for him. He just have 2 players left. Actually, no, he does not open up any of the map, because these final 2 players are between him and that ramp.
Rotate. Just rotate to the left, go through the left-hand side now. He's got so much time still, but he's just going for the frag onto Clock, and which maybe this is Vince's idea. He doesn't need space, and as he just showed, he just opened it up on ID as well, and he has taken the lead for spin move. That is ridiculous. I would have played the safety. I would have gone back to mid and opened up more angles, but he just didn't need them.
I think the problem with going to middle was you would have missed the jump up toward the point by those defensive players. So by going up that right-hand side, he always had eyes on view when any player decided to retreat toward the point. So, you know, I think that was actually good play, as he will find Vince with that laser. Good start for Rafa here. And he still knows there's a player by the point and a player by that right-hand side wall. So Rafa going to try and deal with this wall player. Poor Billy. He's going to hold his ground nicely for the time being, but 15 seconds now for Rafa to find this shot. It's imperative that he does not lose 1 life point in this situation if he has to deal with 2 players by the point, and there goes 2 as well. This will surely go down a spin move. Nutrigrain cannot die. He has to stay alive, as well, he doesn't have to. 1 life could be enough for 1 player to work with, but with that instant hit laser, that's not a gamble I would like to take, as Rafa is now running out of time. 6 seconds to get on the point. Reload time's going to probably enable him now for just no more shots. He has to get on the point. The bounces are brilliant though. They've done enough here, spin move. 7-5, and wow, look at this, taking the lead here. Just 2 points away from taking map number 1.
As I said, there could have been an upset, and spin move are now showing that upset. Giving away those early attacking rounds, though, to ID, which made it look very easy at the start, but clearly now they're all tightening up the defense. They're obviously communicating a lot better, and spin move looking to maybe take this map now, which could be a very nice lead for them to get on this in this tournament. And Nutrigrain now trying to find Clock, and Clock hits the jump pad. Risky, gets back up though unscathed, and now ID just on that broken wall. Nutrigrain's got a bit more space in this mid area now, but decides, you know what, I think I'm going to fall back to this second mid area, try and pick off ID. Doesn't unfortunately get anything, and now going straight for ID, picks off ID. Can Nutrigrain now get back on the point and gain an extra attacking round? No, he cannot. He's shut down immediately as soon as he walks past the ramp.
Yeah, SK Gaming cannot afford to lose 1 more defensive round. That would put them in a very tight situation. And ID here, he has to take this round. This round would tie things up 7-7. The pressure would be off. They'd be left with just having to win attacking round when it was possible and just keep holding on to defensive sides. But right now, sticky situation. Looking for the long range shot on toward Vince. Not going to be able to find it. Knows again there's going to be no player by that pillar and bounce pad. And an interesting thing to note is that you no longer hear bounce pad sounds from the enemy team. So that's why we saw that confused spin move player on attack. He had no idea that Clock took it. And that's one of the things that the spin move guys lose by not playing one of their defensive players in that position. But ID going to be able to find poor Billy. 2 defenders now remaining here for the spin move side. ID not looking too comfortable himself with just 2 life points, but it could be enough if he can find one of these players. Diving on the pine would be feasible no longer though, as he is put down to just 1 life. 8 rockets. Well, that's single life. That's 8 to 6. And here come 2 map points, Succubus.
Indeed, and you know what? You bring up a good point on that jump pad. You know, it's harder to hear now. You have to be literally on it, and you know, with that opening, spin move had an opening that whole map the whole time. So it's just unlucky that SK haven't really capitalised on it a little bit more. But poor Billy now pushing on this right hand side decides to switch back to mid. Let's see what he can actually get a hold of. He's playing a little bit cautiously. Doesn't want to give it away too much, and almost scraping Rafa there. Looked like he was dead on him from my angle, but obviously not. And poor Billy now making his way to pillar. Rafa welcoming him with spam, but just misses. Poor Billy doesn't know what to do. They're all up top now. And now it's looking pretty grim for poor Billy. Oh, but there's only 2. Somebody's crashed. Woo! Yep. ID saving it.
Clock crashed out there. I think he's been having troubles with the new EXP client since things switched around, and thankfully the server's gone into warm-up mode as well. So 8 to 7 there in SK Gaming, just holding on. But it's interesting whilst we wait for these guys to ready up again that you mentioned that Crosshair was on him, because in ShootMania, if I actually quickly, whilst we've got a bit of time, just bring up the... Oh no, I won't because we're going live again, but the Crosshair has 3 dots by default. The circle you see on the screen is about the size of the 3 dots, but if there were 3 dots, all 3 dots have to be on the enemy player for it to register as a hit. So if they're not all on the enemy player, it doesn't count, which is why sometimes you see those very near misses. But we're on Clock's perspective now, and again, another map point here for spin move, and Clock has to take this attacking round, and typically in ShootMania the attacking rounds are the harder ones to get, so Clock has everything against him in this position, but he does know for a fact exactly how spin move are going to be playing this one. They've not switched things up at all, and the rockets save poor Billy, but not the second one as Clock gets that instant reload and finds the shot. 2 players now. Clock, can he keep SK Gaming in this first map? Nutrigrain almost caught out in mid-air, but well timed with the reload time on Clock's laser. And there goes Nutrigrain. 9 seconds until the point opens up. Clock has plenty to work with. 4 rockets for that defensive player. Remember, all Clock has to do is waste 2 of those defensive rockets and dive on the point. He will get it. He'll find the frag anyway. Tie things up 8 to 8. Brilliant stuff from Clock. Clutch play from the American.
Indeed, very nice. My only criticism, spin move, not giving any support to the guy behind broken wall. No
oh
spam,
my God!
Nothing.
No! Has he just done this? The previous player for Planet Express, ranked perhaps 1 or 2 in the North American scene, may have just cost map number 1 here for spin move. I've not seen anybody fail that in a major competition. That is going to be so annoying for Vince. Rafa now. Wow.
I'm blown away. I was too busy looking at the defense from SK and just seeing them leave, and then you just went, "What's going on?" Going mental, and I didn't realise until I saw the actual replay on the stream. That's funny.
I can't believe it.
Now, see if Rafa can finish this. Have they knocked their confidence away now? But Rafa just getting hammered by 2 rockets there on that broken wall. I think spin move will be able to clear this up quite nicely, and unfazed by the fall by the looks of it.
Yeah, saved by the bell. I mean, the attacking rounds are the harder sides to hit, but you do not want to give one away like that. Unbelievable. But Nutrigrain now here for spin move, and that's definitely got to go in the top 5 fails with this FPS General Tournament if there ever was one. But you know, thankfully, it's not going to mean too much. Can Nutrigrain pick things back up here and put them back on the map in map number 1, the castle?
Indeed. Nutrigrain now up, trying to pick off Rafa at the top. Misses just slightly again. Gets Clock in though. Takes his head clean off with that laser and just misses. Again just missing Rafa. Rafa peeking a little bit too much, and Nutrigrain is going to get this pick, I think, if he keeps doing it. And what will Nutrigrain do? Will he hit the jump pad? Then he's going for ID at the broken wall. Misses it. ID managing rockets. Spam coming down. Nutrigrain needs to make this push. But now only on 1 life. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. And shoots the pole. It's dead. It's, the pole is not usually the good target to hit.
Pretty big, but Dave, you know, pretty big.
It is pretty big.
Idea
Are
now
we
here for
talking
SK.
about my pole?
Well, let's not go there. You. But ID going up this right hand side here on the castle. They do some cheeky jumps up. This should give a good opening onto one of the two players back by their point, or at least one of them, as you will know, Vince is back on that ramp as per usual. And going to have a quick look at the defensive setup actually and see what he's doing. He's going to go maybe toward neutral game. Going to try and switch on to him as he will look for that ping onto ID. And he'll go down as well. ID going to be able to find the shot. Two players now remaining. Is poor Billy back by the point? No, he's not, but that is a big, big miss from ID. He will find him, though. He'll be shut down one-on-one situation. This could send ID into map number 2. We'll have to see for SK Gaming. Can ID get on that point? One more rocket's going to connect. One more to take him down. He's on the point. He's going to be able to capture it up. 11-9. Very, very close end here on map number 1. The Zacubus. So unfortunate for spin move. Almost able to recuperate there on the point.
Just so gutting. I feel really bad for Spin Move because obviously they had that map lead, they had that defensive round, and then the pressure, it all added up. And Clock being able to exploit it, then ID. And that was just so unlucky. As I said at the start of the map, that left side seems a good opening for ID. He just knows those picks so well. He just waits for those pillar shots, times them so well, gets them every time they seem to peek out there. And I just feel really, really bad for Spin Move, especially with Vince falling off the map as well. It's just not their day, maybe.
No, well, they put out a strong performance, and I think, many people would perhaps disagree that Spin Move are the underdogs. They're perhaps, more well practiced in ShootMania, but, when we mention underdogs or maybe upsets or anything like that, it sincerely is just because SK Gaming have those massive names on their lineup, and, for them to lose any game would be, an upset in many people's opinions, but we'll see. Spin Move, are technically stronger with Vince since picking him up from Planet Express. One of, and arguably one of the top players still in the game. It was unfortunate he made that flop, but that wasn't what cost them the game. It was the defensive side and that brilliant attacking round there at the end. And interesting to see what map number 2 is going to be.
Indeed, and Castle Crasher, my favourite. I love this map purely for the fact there's so many. You can have so many different tactics on it because it's such a unique map in that regard. You can play it aggressively up the front, you can play it in the mid area, you can play it right at the back of the pole. Every team has different strategies on this usually, and that's what I like about it. Unlike other maps which tend to be kind of samey, I find, but this map is just, well, it's crazy, and that's what I like.
Yeah, indeed, but map 2, of course, is going to be what you see here, Castle Crasher, and it is going to be SK Gaming to attack first. Interested, really? I mean, one thing we never talk about, Dave, is the attacking order, and how important it can be.
Indeed, and do SK mix it up, or do they keep with ID Clock Rafa? Because it's kind of funny that Rafa is their third, in my opinion, but I think they base it on maps, do they not?
Well, that is one way to do it, because obviously different players have different strongest maps. So other players just go by who played well in the previous map. I guess there's many ways to do it, but watching Id as he moves around this right-hand side, and he's going to be trying to sandwich in here. Vince coming in from the left side fence. This should be good here for Spin Move, but really just not able to find a shot. Id getting position on this point now, but that is a good rotate. I'm not sure who that is behind Snake Wall. He's going to completely throw ID off there, and that's going to make it 1-0. But yeah, normally you have your strongest player on whatever regard you take that to be in first.
Indeed. I mean, I always think of first and second as the same anyway, because usually you get to always have those two people playing. It's only the third guy that usually misses an attacking round, depending on whoever's leading on the attack. But it's very interesting, and Nutrigrain just picking off one, now two. Rafa's only left, and Nutrigrain is diving around trying to avoid these rockets. It gets the last rocket, the laser, sorry, onto Rafa as he's falling off the map. Very, very nice stuff, and that push, very gutted to fail that push.
Yeah, clutch play indeed from the spin move player. Clock this time going to wait a little bit longer for that spam to pass. And this is kind of the European style of play, just rushing up to that cage, having one by the left-hand side, one in the cage, one final player behind the snake wall, getting the fast push down that right-hand side. But this time Clock going to be caught in the back by poor Billy, ready and waiting for him. And now Clock is in a sticky situation. No wall jump yet in the game. And that's going to be Neutral going to finish things off in 2, 3-0. Poor Billy up now for spin move.
Yeah, like a pack of wolves just diving in on him there. It's horrible. It's horrible to see Clock treated that way in that little pit area, unable to escape.
Cue the music.
But I'm sure he'll live to fight another day. And poor Billy now up on attack. SK with this aggressive style of play on the front. Rafa at the back of the mid cage. ID and Clock are just pushing as far as they can. Poor Billy has been pushed back into rockets and rockets. Very nice stuff from ID there.
Yeah, that is really the thing with this map, is if you miss that first shot and you take it in the wrong situation, you're just going to be sandwiched by all three players providing they're close enough, and that's what we saw there. You really can't afford to miss the first one. Either take your time or hit it like that, as you will eliminate Nutrigrain there. Fantastic shot from Rafa. And now 2 players remaining. Rafa knows he could potentially dive down this right-hand side. There won't be 2 people waiting for him. That archway could be a route for him to take. Meanwhile, poor Billy on the left side. So actually Rafa has the entire map to choose from at this point, and here we go, the movement toward first arch. And where is poor Billy? That is the question. Going to try and switch around and find him on the rail platform. Going to miss the shot onto Rafa as he gets position on the point. And it's not all over for Rafa just yet. If he waits until the point opens up, you're going to see both of those players dive in. And 8 rockets for 3 lives. Whilst that's not going to be any easy feat, it's certainly possible. And you can see Rafa not ready to just sit on the point and wait. Instead, will back away and find Vince. One more player now to find poor Billy. Going to get hit in the face there, Rafa. 1 life now. Poor Billy, has he done enough? As Rafa will dive to the point. Yes, he has. Finds that final one. 4-1 on the board for spin move. Rafa finally.
Good recovery. Good recovery from spin move, I must say, and pushing exactly at the same time on that point to Rafa, putting the pressure back on. It's not easy to do. Usually there's a free kill there, and Rafa was just unlucky to hit that easy shot. But spin move played that perfectly in that situation with only 2 players left, and Vince just pushing straight through the middle of the map. Very, very nicely done. Now he's in a good position to hopefully get some rotations, and he does. He picks up ID. Little bit of a mind rape going on there when he pushed through the mid area. ID really didn't expect it. It was open in mid-air. Now Vince has given up position, unfortunately, onto the point, but he has received a kill instead, which could be more important, and Clock is playing it very sneaky just under Vince. Will Vince run into it? I think he might. And he does. Clock coming up behind, but nice reaction shot, 180. Picks off Clock, and now 1 life to 1 life. Who will come up on top? Ah, Vince does with a brilliant timed shot, just waiting with the patience, dodging those rockets, and Rafa unlucky on the point, but Clock should have done a little bit more for the sneak attack, I feel.
Yeah, this is really good for Vince. He couldn't come into this map having a couple of bad attacking rounds, not after that flop as he dived into the water on Castle, but certainly showing here that he is no pushover. And ID now in a sticky situation as well. He's just going to dive down this left-hand side. There is a player waiting for him behind that left-hand side wall. It's probably poor Billy, as ID will get stuck in this little pit area like Clock did. Poor Billy's going to absolutely capitalise on that one, and there comes those final 2 rockets. 6-1 now on the board, and boy, spin move really turning things up here in map 2.
Indeed, and showing you why they picked it, because this is their map, and Nutrigrain is going for a unique tactic this time. He's going under the map. He's going up through the defo. This could be deadly though, I think they know, and they do know. Clock just gets the 3 rockets to the face. Nicely done.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, whilst jump sounds have been slightly toned down in EXP and Beta 2, the footsteps have not. Still very easy to hear, and they would have heard him come away from a mile off. But at the same time, spin move don't necessarily have to win any more attacking rounds. All they have to do is defend, defend, defend. And if they can keep Clock away after eliminate just 1 life point here down to 2, then they're certainly going to be on the way to tying things up here 1-1. But we'll see what Clock is going to be doing, as he will now try and rotate down toward this right-hand side. Even if he gets position on the point here, he can't afford just to wait there, because it's going to be very difficult. Finding that frag now certainly going to make it more of a possibility, but every time he fires, you're going to see those spin move players move in toward position, and it's going to be very difficult for Clock just to hold on and capture the point in 7 seconds. It really has to be a well-timed attack from both of these defensive players now. And here comes the dive in toward the point clock, trying to get time in whilst finding the shots in. He's not going to be able to do enough. 7-2 here, 2 points away from taking this map spin move. Poor Billy looking to send them toward map point.
Indeed, and good push again, yet again from Spinmouth. They got that coordination on there, and it seemed like one was bouncing and the other one was just going for the shot and bouncing right into the corner. Clock unlucky there, but Spinmouth now looking as a dominant force. And will Rafa get picked? He does. Poor Billy is speeding off at the speed of light, and he picks up ID as well. And Clock, oh, he goes huge with the 3 hits there. Oh, SK all over the place on that defense.
Yeah, one by one by one. Really just gifted to spin move, but at the same time he had to hit the shots and he hit them, really playing well under the pressure there. And spin move really looking dominant, looking very much forward to map number 3, because surely they're going to be able to defend. Rafa has been able to get position on this point, but at the same time you can see Rafa knows he doesn't want to move back to the point too early. He wants to be able to find these shots. He has plenty of time to work with, and that's going to be one player closer to starting this monumental comeback that he needs to happen soon.
Indeed, and Vince is on the offensive, pushing into Rafa on the mid area. Rafa's let to gain any space, even though he has picked off somebody. And poor Billy is now going to face the same fate as his teammate. And so is Vince. Rafa picking up the pace and not crumbling under the pressure by the looks of it. He's just got mad.
Yeah, indeed, and it really does look like SK don't want to just give up this map. They want to play it to the very end, hold on as long as possible. And if they can take Vince out here, that would be 8-5, just potential 4 more map points. It's not impossible for SK, and if you're going to put money on anybody, it would be tournament winners that they have on SK Gaming side. So we'll see whether Vince has it in him to end this one now, or whether it potentially go to another defensive side. There's one of those life points taken away by ID. In response though, Vince will find Clark. 2 players now remaining on the defensive side. Vince very, very cautious. Doesn't want to peek out too early for that rail shots ahead. And he will find ID as well. 1 more player now remaining to tie things up 1-1 here in the ShootMania Curse Invitational second semi-final against SK Gaming. Can Vince put them through to 1-1? We'll see. He'll miss the shot. He'll get time on the point. Can the defensive player do enough? Yes, he can. Rafa able to make things 8-4. Holding on just a little bit longer here, SK. And now pressure's certainly on attack.
Indeed, and SK have changed up the defensive strats. They're playing a defensive point now. They're finding out that the aggression just doesn't work for them on this map. But look at this. ID diving straight over to this left-hand side, and the spam is coming, and he has to push back now. Nutrigrain is pushed right on top of him. He's now gained some space, trying to push onto the right-hand side, does so, but is taken down an armor. And the rotation has already been formed. Poor Billy is behind ID. This could be deadly for him now, and oh no! Poor Billy goes down, ID taking a nice shot, but then Nutrigrain with the nice spam through the mid, closing it off and winning 9-4. Spin move looking very, very strong now.
Yeah, that's exactly why during the reload time you just sandwich that player in. He can't hit all of you at once. He can only hit one at a time, and between that 2.5 second reload you have plenty of space to fire off all of those rockets. Good play from the spin move side, and yeah, what a game we have on our hands here. And for the guy asking in chat, B5K, when you're on a rail platform you lose ability to jump, but you do gain a zoom. And like I was mentioning before, which I'll demonstrate as we jump into the game, the crosshair in ShootMania works a little bit differently to what you might think in transitioned by default in other games. So if I quickly bring it up and I can explain it to you guys at home. So where do we get default? I need to actually set default. That might help. So on the screen you can see 3 dots in the middle of that crosshair. All 3 of those dots have to be on the enemy player for it to register as a hit, which is why if you stand on a rail platform it's much more likely a distance at sort of 90 meters onwards that those 3 dots are going to be on the player when you're zoomed in. So that's exactly why you get a big advantage on rail platforms such as the ones here on Paladin, and why they are so deadly against an attacking player on the other side of the map when going on in that one-on-one situation. But it's a nice and neat mechanic. It really does assist in that sort of balance between attack and defense. But we'll go ahead and set the default crosshair again that I've been using for the stream. which is actually about the same size as the three dots. So if that crosshairs on the enemy player, you can guarantee it's going to hit. Just waiting for the guys to get ready. But here we go, Paladins, Agibus. Who you favouring on this one? Or do you think can go any way?
It's gonna be tough. Spin Mover got another crazy defense pattern on here. The defensive pattern on Castle Crasher was really nice. It was very misleading. They looked like they gave an opening on that left side attack, but really poor Billy was just there waiting to spam some rockets into the side of whoever was preoccupied by the two guys in mid, which is, it's a really nice tactic, and it really paid off well for them as well. And now, if I remember correctly, Vince goes on Railpad, and the other two just play in sight, like pretty much blind corners. Nutrigrain does seem to peak at the start, but he'll pretty much hide back into sight as soon as he can. Rafa now attacking first as well. As I said, it all depends on map by the looks of it, and Rafa feels confident on this map.
He did hit some ridiculous shots as well on last map on his attacking round. I remember early on as he took the bounce pad across. Some nice distance peak shots, but that's going to be the first life gone from Vince here on this third and final map. Rafa's going to finally eliminate him as a response. He will take an additional one from Nutrigrain, and poor Billy's going to be able to shut things off. Good sandwich in there from the spin move guys, coming in strong here to map number 3. As we watch Nutrigrain up now on attack.
That's what I'm talking about. The teamwork on this map with spin move is superb. As soon as they know that they're going for the railer, they push in so hard and they just finish it off so quickly every time. And that's the problem. You want to get that railer because you just want them out of the way so you can focus on the rest of the map, but they just don't give you that time to do it.
Indeed, and Nutrigrain just trying to find a clock by the fence, and we often say if you go to commit to that player by fence, it's usually either for a trade or you can just run past him up the ramp and hope nobody's waiting for you. We'll see what Nutrigrain does. It looks like he maybe wants to go for the trade, or at least trying to bait out Clock to find the frag. Now here comes the dive up the ramp, and he'll flick onto Clock as well. That is a nice free frag for him to take, and now we've got 2 players remaining. He thinks he has an idea what ID is, and yes he does, but not able to find the shot. And here we go, time now ticking down. 3 lines for Nutrigrain. Will he just dive on the point and find the shot? No, it is aware of it. There comes one shot from Rafa, down to 2 lives now, Nutrigrain. There comes one from ID as well. 1 life left for those 8 rockets, and it will be ID to finish things off. 1-1 now. And still, we wait for that first attacking round.
Indeed. A Clock up on attack, and he's going to be waiting a while before he can actually get one of these guys down. If he can get one of the guys down on the spin move team, and going for that long range shot, but Nutrigrain's not really going to give him another chance to peek really, and Clock now trying to move into close positions, I should hope, anyway. Oh yes he is, and what a jump technique that is. I like it. Jumping on that jump pad, little bit of a railing, that was really nice. I've not seen that before.
Yeah,
I'm going to steal that.
Yeah, let's all steal it, but unfortunately he's back down to where he started here, but he will make the jump up toward the spawn. Brilliant stuff here again from Clock, where you can see Vince on that rail platform, and now things have got almost impossible here. It's just a matter of time as Nutrigrain drops on top of his head. But good stuff from Clock, kicking things off. It's definitely a sign of things to come, but it's still going to be 2-1 now for spin move. Poor Billy up now on attack. Let's see what he's going to do. Again, I just want to have a look at the SK setup as we watch Clock spam from their fence, and it really is just a case of leaving Clock there and hoping it doesn't get picked. If Clock goes down again, that's just going to be in the favour, heavily, of spin move. So Clock has to stay alive. He cannot die. And we'll see whether poor Billy's going to be able to find the fragger. Whether he's actually going to switch things up. It looks like he's maybe trying to still bait him out. And here comes the dive up. This time missing the shot, but it's good to hear that Clock didn't die.
Indeed, and now they can actually close in on poor Billy at any time. He's a little bit scared. He's got more position and more work cut out for him than he thinks, and Rafa playing sneaky, and I think he could pick up some easy rockets here from coming up from behind. Poor Billy diving on the point, and this is going to end badly for poor Billy. The triangle formation came in and they absolutely annihilated him with rectangles of rockets.
Yeah, but he did get close to the point. He got time on it, and that's something we're yet to really see from the SK attacking player. Watching Id now as he goes down this left-hand side. Looks like he's going to be aware of that rail. He has to be very careful when he makes this jump across though. If he's too slow, he's going to hit the shot. Right, that's a big actually opening that was missed from Vince. I have no idea what he was doing. I guess unprepared potentially. because that was an easy one. But, ID now doing all the trick jumps. You can jump onto the little wooden pedestal and boost yourself up. This is a good display from ID, but he has to find some frags with it. You can't afford to just wait until the point opens up, and Vince just relentless on that position, does not want to give it up. The drop from ID, not sure why he dropped down. The defender had plenty of time to recuperate all of that ammunition. The 4 rockets to build back up over time, 3-2.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake to fall down on a reload as well. You should never really do that. You should always have a shot primed and ready to fire. If he did, he might have actually survived that, but slightly unlucky then. And now Vince on the attack, seeing if he can get a pick. I think he wants to go for Clock here. Will he? He is, but Clock is just going to avoid quite easily there. See, now the pincer movement might come back into play, and some nice spam coming across from SK. Rafa in position round the back, and he's going to pick off Vince from behind. Very nicely done by Rafa. Did not see that one coming at all, Vince.
Yep, and we're still yet to see an attacking round here in this third and final map of the second semi-final. Maybe Rafa here on attack for SK Gaming can pick up the first one of the game, as he looks to be going again toward this left-hand side. No spam coming out from the defensive side. Again, has to be careful of Vince on that rail platform, and here comes the cheeky jump up, looking for the shot on the player at the back of the map. I want to quickly switch around to Vince as we watch his perspective, and he seems really wary of the player just pushing up the ramp. Maybe knows that his team won't be able to call everything. Yeah, you can see now, just absolutely surprised here on Rafa, but Rafa's going to miss the shot. Out comes Vince to capitalise on it. ID puts the LOL in chat. I think Rafa must have flopped the railgun now. I don't know why, but found it funny anyway.
Rocket saved his life.
Oh, was that what it was? Rock blocked.
Yeah, the rock blocked indeed.
I blinked.
And basically Rafa didn't pre-fire again, so just got smashed by 3 rockets to the face. It's a sad day. But Nutrigrain now pushing onto Clock again. And oh, how did he miss that? Oh, the entire SK team want him dead. They are all chasing him from behind, but Nutrigrain now has some positioning at least. Well, he did have until that happened. He's missing some nice easy shots there. And now SK have somehow recovered. Nutrigrain now taking an armor of life. And the spam is just flying in. Nutrigrain looking in now a bad position after a good one. Panicked a little bit too much. Didn't expect all 3 of them to come up behind. He thought he had more time to actually get another shot on the Clock and realised, oh crap, I gotta run.
Indeed, that's going to make it 4-4. And now Clock, the man on the castle, map number 1, that was able to save them and eventually take the map later on. Can he do it here and extend the lead though for SK Gaming as he pushes up and again knows that Vince is not going to be anywhere. Is he going to do what Rafa did? Will he this time hit the shot? I don't know. Looks like instead he wants to turn his attention to the players at the back of the map. You can see Vince's name tag through the wall. We're going to switch onto him as he makes a massive miss onto Clark. Clark instead going to hit the rocket, gets that instant reload, but the shot won't come twice, and Vince meanwhile will eliminate him down to just 1 and finds the final as well. 5-4. Spin move. Hold of those defensive rounds. Poor Billy. Up now.
Indeed. Let him have the stroll round the mid area. Not much really happens at the very start of this map, that's for sure, because everybody is so well hidden. Well, Rafa's having a little bit of a peek, but poor Billy's not hitting that distance. Or maybe he will, you never know. And ID is ready for the sneak attack push from behind, and Clock is going to get pushed, and ID is going to run out now. And poor Billy's in a really bad position, and he's still not picked off Clock, and misses Clock and hits ID! What the hell just happened there?
ID came out of spawn, was like, I'll look left, I'll look right, there's nothing for me to shoot, and then he just dies. So unlucky,
and
but
poor Billy, 1 life, and the spam's coming in, he's hit the jump pad. And he's just diving onto Rafa's head. Very, very nice stuff. Only 1 guy left on the point. Will he get picked off by the spawn? And time's running out. Probably had to move in and closed off by Clock. That was quite funny. I like it when they miss it here. That's random as hell.
Yeah, I imagine. I don't think ID will even be mad about that. He'll just be like, what just happened? Probably had no idea himself. It's just he shouldn't have died. His teammate should have died. But you know, whatever. Clark says, I'm not taking a laser for you. you can just die. And yeah, good team play
I'll
going on
pick
there,
up
I
the route
guess.
later. I've got
Yeah,
this.
yeah, no problem, lads. But ID up now as he looks to get revenge and say, look, I need to survive, Clark. You need to take a life for me. And he starts off by taking out Vince, which is a nice player to pick off. Now doesn't have to worry about the laser player, but he is wherever player back by those rail platforms. I think I did see one over there as well. As yeah, we see Nutrigrain back off now toward the point. 3 lives for ID. 2 players left remaining, 8 rockets between them. ID needs to find one more player. He can't dive on the point. Not now with just 2 life points remaining. He would need short of a miracle or be Nodmac from Team Resolution. One-on-one situation. 4 rockets for the defender. Now ID just trying to make him waste, and the dive around the point comes out, but time is going to run out. 18% just captured on that point. 6-5, and still we have yet to see an attacking round come out from one of these teams.
Everybody's defense is holding up so far, all looking strong, all very different. But ID is now going on the rail pad. They're mixing it up a little bit more, SK, and let's see how this works out for him. Vince now eyeing up Rafa with a 51-meter shot. Very, very nice. Taking the tip of Rafa's head off. And now he's got free space if he goes up on this left-hand side. Oh, but it takes a hit from ID at the back of the map. Vince now moving into this left-hand side of the map and has position on the point if he is to look at it, but he is scared to. He does not want to get shot again by ID. Clearly fears his aim. And Clock in a pretty vulnerable position there, I'd say, but now back onto the point and one like Vince. I don't think he's going to be able to pull this off. ID's covering the back. And wow, Vince, what that lovely dodge jump there and picking up ID, but doesn't get as lucky as he hopes, and Clock finishes it off with a rocket to the face again.
Yeah, Vince just shooting the pole. Unfortunate. 6-6 now. All tied up still. As Rafa for SK Gaming starts off with his signature 360. And looks like he wants to push down this left-hand side again. I imagine Vince, yep, trademark Vince on his rail platform. Rafa's going to take this long-range jump across. Vince going to miss the shot. And now Rafa looking to maybe do the jump across toward the left side. No, instead going to check for someone maybe hiding in spawn or try and bait out the shot at the back of the map. Vince wouldn't have seen the rotate, which is one of the flaws with the strategy, but Rafa eventually going to take a shot from Vince, and another one through the teleporter will finally pick him up as revenge, but just 1 life point for these 2 players. Can he separate them? And in actual fact, they are already separated. Nutrigain on the left side of the point, the other player, Poor Billy, on the right. And Rafa has a small opportunity here, but he has to be careful because Poor Billy is just around that wall and he'll peek out, find the shot. 7-6. And yeah, still no attacking round. Nutrigain to potentially send them to map point now. They're on attack. Or match point.
Indeed. Rafa slightly unlucky. He was just jumping to prime his sprint button and then gets caught off guard with a little peek. But let's see how Nutrigrain can actually attempt to bring back this map, get an attacking round on the board. Maybe he can, maybe he won't. And let's see if ID is in another strange position. No, is back on the rail pad like last round. Rafa already rotated round to the left-hand side, waiting and spamming onto the donut. Nutrigrain climbing the top of this bar, and this could give him some good positioning, but opening up some shots over to ID if he actually cares to look over there. ID missing the rail, and Nutrigrain's got to be careful. Rafa's underneath him somewhere, he knows he is, but just drops down anyway.
Yeah,
Rafa's
Rafa
actually on the point, my mistake.
Yeah, he backed onto the point, and time definitely running out now. 8 seconds. ID has done enough just peeking at the back of the map for his team. Rafa and Clock able to find those rockets for him. 7-7. Now.
Indeed.
Clock to take an attacking round. Vince. I'm just going to switch on to Vince. I don't know why, but we might as well just assume Vince is on the rail platform every round. They really don't switch anything up, but it is just a defense that's hard to break, it seems, for the team of SK. Clock just playing with his life for the moment, knows how far he can move before he gets into Vince's crosshair, and he also knows that perhaps they haven't been called, as he will get rock blocked as he moves down the right side, and Clock will finally find the shot as well as Vince tries to jump onto the rail platform to get hold of that instant hit weapon. Clock will find the second as well. Could this be the first attacking round of the game? Clock's going to miss a clutch laser, and now this could go either way. Point opening up in just a second. Switched onto Poor Billy. Clock going to find it though. 8-7, and that is a massive round to take. Defensive match point, Zacubus.
Clock has been saving all day. He has been clutching it for SK, especially on the castle, and now on Paladin. And he must be pretty proud of himself right about now. And poor Billy now has to save it. The spin move, which have been having a stellar performance in this game. They've been playing it so well and just getting a little bit unlucky. Poor Billy now pushing into Clock. It picks him off. Nicely done. Can he actually now rotate round? Is he going to rotate round? No, he's going to go straight up to face ID. Trying to pick off Rapper, but ID now off the rail pads. Take it to spam, poor Billy. Now waiting for the shot. Gets picked off by ID. One armor left. Rapper left on the point. Picks off poor Billy very, very easily. And that's GG. And SK take it again. 2-1.
Honestly, such brilliant play there from ID when it mattered most. He got off the rail platform, he spam rockets down that left-hand side, knowing that if spin moves poor Billy was to push up that direction, that's exactly where he'd be out of sight of the railgun position where he was previously. Then he moved back, hit that railgun or laser, and was able to win the round. Just, fantastic stuff from SK Gaming, but what a brilliant showing from both sides, really. And I think Spin Move are going to be really disappointed as they go down to the lower bracket.
Indeed, I truly thought Spin Move were actually going to actually win that there, but Clock just stepping it to another level on that attack, and almost Spin Move been able to actually regain that 2-1 down on defense as well with those 2 lives taken away from Clock. So it was so close either way. It was a coin flip, you could say, and you can't be too disappointed with that. It was a close game, and Spin Move they're slightly more of the underdogs there, but still they could have actually hurt SK quite badly.
Yeah, indeed. But whoever voted 2-1 in favour of SK Gaming on Twitter in the FPS Genuine Steel Series giveaway, you're in with a chance of winning a Steel Series Sensei Raw Gaming mouse, which Johnny will announce shortly. But for now, guys, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. In fact, go somewhere, go get yourself a drink. This is the time to do it. And then we'll be right back with not only the winner, but the first of 2 lower bracket games, which we'll be doing tonight in round 4.
I need coffee.
Get some coffee, Dave. Get some coffee.
I'm gonna get some coffee.